Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Bergs podcast. I'm Ben, your favourite high school dropout and founder of Collective Shift, alongside Ms. Bergs, your favourite MBA and COO of Collective Shift. Join us as we bring you world-class crypto research and strategies to help you dominate this crypto bull market, as well as a behind-the-scenes view of us scaling the leading crypto research company here in Australia. And if you like the podcast, please leave us a subscribe if you're on YouTube or follow us on your favourite podcasting app. Now, today, we're talking about, I've stuffed up that intro twice now, how to set and achieve your goals in crypto. This is a big one that a lot of people struggle with, and we've got a process that we take every one of our clients through and members at Collective Shift. And we wanted to talk a little bit about how you can set your goals and also just share how we think about it and some of the mistakes we see people make. So Bergs, I'm going to hand over to you, mate. Where and how do people start thinking about goals and when to take profits, and how does that even start to occur?
Yeah, so we've had this question a lot just from our members, but I'm getting it a lot on Twitter as well, because you see people say, take profits if it's life-changing money, but what does that really mean? And it really depends on your goals and your time frame. So is your time frame short? Is it within the next 6 months? Is it longer term, 5 years, 10 years? You need to figure out what that is and how your goals fit into that. So if you're like, well, I need $10 million in the next 6 months, you're going to have to go hyper risky and you're probably going to lose all of your money. So you need to be realistic with your goals. But some of the goals that I've heard, and I want to give people examples of what to think about. Some of them are, it can just be a holiday. I want $10,000 to go on a holiday. It could be taking a few months off work. It could be working 3 days a week instead of 5 days a week. And the way you calculate that is, okay, I'm earning $100,000. If I'm working 3 days, it'll be like roughly 60K. I need to make up that 40K difference. So let's say I want to do that for 3 years, that's 120K. When you hit that number, sell, and your life will be changed for the next 3 years. That is something you absolutely want to lock in. Changing jobs that pays 50K less per year. Let's say I'm in a corporate job, or let's say it's $100,000 less per year. I'm earning 200 grand, or 300 grand, I'm a high flyer, and I want to change jobs. I'm at 300,000. If I change jobs to a different industry or something I like more, or something that's more time flexible where I'd have to work 80 hours per week, that's 100 grand less. And let's say I want to do that for 4 years. That's $400,000. That is a total you will need to get to, which will change your life for 4 years. Taking 6 months off to travel or reskill. A lot of friends that I talk to have got themselves into a lot of debt with their mortgages and their lifestyles, and I can't change jobs. And to change an executive job can take up to 6 months to find an equivalent position in another company. So if you figure that out, the other question to ask you is, what if you got fired tomorrow? How long would it take you to then find another job? Work out what that amount of money is, sell your crypto and change your life. Another one is paying off your mortgage. You might have a $500,000 mortgage. You hit that number, sell that, your mortgage is paid off. Think about how free you are going to feel if that's done, rather than just having crypto sitting there. And another one is, it can be your FIRE number. So financially independent, retire early. And this is how you calculate that number. You work out what your monthly burn is going to be. So this is everything you spend in a month. It's your subscriptions, your bills, your mortgage, everything you do, all your travel rolled up. And let's say you spend $15,000 per month. And over a year, that's $180,000. So to work out your FIRE number, you get $180,000 times it by 25, which is $4.5 million. Once you hit that number, you can invest that money, and using the 4% rule, which is essentially after tax, you will get 180K per year. Couple of things to note with this. That doesn't account for burning down on that 4.5 million. That never goes away. This is in perpetuity, and you're going to get significant gains if you just invest that in something like ETFs. It doesn't include superannuation, Roth IRA, 401k, or a pension. So that number is actually a lot lower than people think. And when you're actually not working, you actually spend a lot less because you got more time on your side. And really think about, when do you do this? So this is a question that we get, particularly among people that have a bit more money. When do I do this? I've got a goal. I've hit my goal. I need to sell, but I don't want to sell. This has happened to me personally, where I wanted to purchase a house for my child, and I'm very close to hitting that number, and I haven't sold. Well, why is that? Well, if I did that now, they're going to need that house in, 10 years when they're, older. And I will have to maintain that house. How much is that house going to go up in 10 years versus and all the headache around, managing it, taxes, all that kind of thing. I can't be bothered. Versus holding Bitcoin, I believe that will appreciate more in that 10 years, and I'll be able to buy a lot more house in those 10 years. So my strategy has changed from selling Bitcoin when it hits a certain number to keeping that Bitcoin, selling my other coins, and that goal is now delayed where I'm going to make a trade. But you have to remember, if my goal was I want to spend more time with my wife and child and I've hit my number, I will be selling tomorrow, because that is a time-based goal. And time is your most valuable non-renewable asset. You're not going to get more time as you get older. So you need to do that now. I would be selling. And if you do time-based goals, or if you bring your goals forward, you also have to remember that these will be paying memory dividends. So the whole thing is a marshmallow test. I can go on holiday this year, or I can wait 2 or 3 years and go on 2 holidays. But if I take that holiday this year, I've got extra years of memory dividends of remembering time with my friends, my family, the fun that I have. And it could also change me as a person. These are the things that you need to consider in your goals. So go through all of those and work out what is meaningful change to you. It might be not having debt over your head. It might be changing jobs. It might be going somewhere, go to South America for 3 months, whatever it is to you. It doesn't have to be, Ben, we hear this all the time, I want to retire my bloodline. What the fuck is that? No, you don't want to have $20 million and then no one's ever going to work again. That is the beginning of your problems, right? I don't believe in people actually retiring. I don't know anyone that has a lot of money that is retired. They are all still working in some way, using that part of their brain, building teams. People generally, high achievers, need to have that as part of their lives. And you've got some lessons here. You've done a lot of these strategy sessions. And what are some of the challenges that people come across when they're trying to set these goals?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, time-based goals and memory dividends. I love the memory dividends thing. People are not setting goals based on living a better lifestyles. It's all about make X dollars, become a millionaire, do this, do that. It's well, why? Why do you want to do that? Why is that important?
You need to go deeper. That's just lazy saying, I want X number. Because when you get to the number, you'll just increase the number.
Yeah.
But if it's, and you taught me this, where it's tied to something specific, like getting your folks a house and changing their lives, or spending more time with your family, or not being stressed out every day at work and being fat and sick and having burning in your stomach because you hate going to that job. Yeah. That is life-changing.
Spot on. So I think a couple of things that I find people make mistakes. One is they don't know what's realistic and they get too crazy with their expectations. And this is across the board. Someone will want to turn $50,000 into $1 million, or they'll turn actually their good portfolio of a couple $100,000 into $400,000, and now they reckon they can make $2 million. So they move the goals. And that's kind of the next component is moving goalposts or changing goals is the reason why people round trip so much. They get greedy, they change their goals, they set expectations too high. No other industry or no other sector are you making these sorts of returns in crypto, but yet people want more, and that's why they stuff it up.
You suspend reality in crypto. You see all these crazy screenshots that people have. You only see the winning ones. You never see the losing ones. It's like your mate that gambles on horses or goes to casino or plays poker. Oh, I made this, I made that. Never ever tell you about the losses. And the whole thing is you want to get rich slowly over time. A benefit of crypto is that happens a lot faster. But if you want to turn 400K to 2 million, you should be looking at least 1 to 2 cycles to do that. Correct. You should be not doing it within a cycle.
Which is the next.
You need to be realistic.
Which is the next thing, Bergs, and now and again, too short-term thinking. People are only thinking I've got to make this money in the next 6 months. Why? How? What, you know what I mean? You have no ability to change what the market does. The market doesn't give 2 flying fucks about you. Why do you need to make that within this period of time? And what happens if you don't? Now what's your plan?
It's so crazy. In a traditional market, you're making 7 to 8%. It's going to take roughly 7 to 10 years to double your money. With crypto, in Bitcoin alone, you're making 45% compound annual growth rate. That is insane. Yeah, you're doubling your money every 2 and a bit years, and yet you're still dissatisfied and you need to get there faster. What is the rush? Where is the fire? You're way more wealthy than you were 2 to 3 years ago. You can do so much more with that wealth. You can change your life. You can sell down portions of it. I don't understand where the fire is and why everyone needs to do it in one cycle.
No, man.
There's this whole on-off mentality in the world. It's like you're either incredibly right-wing or incredibly left, or you're this supporter or that supporter. It's like, no, you're either all invested or you take all of your money out. That's not reality. You take some of it out when you need it. You change parts of your life and you change as you go along.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. The next one on that as well is, passive income. A lot of people want to make passive income. Well, that doesn't really exist in crypto. Crypto is not a cash generating asset. It only generates a yield. You can generate a yield through staking some of your assets like Ethereum, but even then, okay, you earn 4 or 5%. What happens if Ethereum doesn't go up for the year? You're back to square one again. Like it's very hard to create a passive income to replace other areas of your life with crypto. What I think is a better idea is create wealth through crypto, through the growth of the asset, and then go and buy other assets that generate income, whether that be property or, dividend creating stocks or whatever that might be. But the goal of owning crypto is asset growth, not cash flow. So yeah, I think people like the idea of passive income, and some people might sell the dream that you can do that in crypto, but it's very, very risky. You'd have to do it with DeFi and do some crazy stuff that you don't know what's going on, you don't understand, you don't have time for, and you're probably going to lose.
The two words that whenever I hear from someone, passive income and financially free, I run for the hills. Like whoever is talking like that does not have money. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
like
correct.
You and I have never said passive income in our lives because we know that's just bullshit. And we'll be a lot more specific. So if you're investing in crypto, think of it as your savings, and your savings just appreciate over time. You would be much better off to just have your money there and sell a portion of it and use that cash when you need it, compared to putting it into another asset. You would only do that for diversification, for safety, if you want to remove some risks. With the way that crypto is going, right?
Spot on. And that was the last bit here, which sort of bleeds into some of our goals, which we'll talk about in a second. But I don't think people are talking enough about stacking Bitcoin. And that's the ultimate goal, is to build a really big stack of Bitcoin. Like that's one of that's one of your goals. I think people are thinking too short term and not thinking about where Bitcoin could be in the next 5-10 years. And I think stacking Bitcoin is a huge priority should be for a lot of people.
Exactly right. And remember why you're investing. Like, why are you going through the pain of investing and spending all your time, researching and setting up your tools and thinking about it? You're doing it because you want more money or more assets, right?
Great.
And why do you want more money? Well, to change your life.
Yeah.
You want more money because it's just another tool, and you can then spend that money. You either want, comfort, security, you want more income to spend. Yeah. You want whatever it is that you need. This is why you are doing it. And don't just do the first part and grow that capital sum and have money. You need to do the second part and spend it or give it away or use it for something, the change that you want to see in the world, whether that's with other people you care about, or with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on. So let's talk about our goals, Bergs. How are you thinking about your goals in crypto? What are you trying to achieve? Just give me a few sort of top line things of what your goals are at the moment.
Yeah. So definitely getting the house as investment property, but that will not be buying that. That's just holding BTC and trading it for a house. And always Checkmate's quote sticks in my head, where he started buying Bitcoin in 2019. In 2024, he can buy roughly 2 times more house than if he bought it in 2019, which is incredible. Again, the marshmallow test, you leave it alone, leave the marshmallow for 10 minutes, you get 2, leave it for 20 minutes, you get 4. Yeah. That's essentially what we're doing here. Other goals are 100K cash per year for spending. This is on top of my burn. So I still work. My expenses are covered by my wage, but I want an additional $100,000 per year to just spend on things that I want to spend on. That sounds like a ridiculous goal, but it is very, very achievable. I will achieve that through selling down my crypto, selling down my ETH and other shitcoins, and that'll produce capital, and then I will spend that capital, because between the ages of 40 to 60 are your go-go years. That's when you spend the most, when you're still mobile and you can do things. And I want to live a rich life, and it's going to cost money. So that's what I'm going to do.
Love it.
I'm going to also stack Bitcoin and spend more time with my family.
Love it. Yeah, I think like what do they call it? Lifestyle chips. It's great. Like it's the reason you work hard, right?
Yeah, there's this very like kind of psychology you have to undo where if you don't grow up with money and you're like, you say something, it sounds outlandish. I want to spend an additional $100,000 of discretionary spending, which is $2,000 per week. It's a lot of money just on stuff, whether it's experiences or, I don't know, new pinball machines, whatever I want. Like, it sounds outlandish, but if you've put the time and effort in and you've been investing for a significant period of time, those things are now available to you. And what do? Just leave that 100 grand in assets and then it becomes 200, 400, 800. At what point do you start harvesting that? And this is like, it's a forcing function for me to actually change my life and do more things with it and just live a larger, more full life.
Yeah. No, all for it. All for it. So mine, buy mum and dad a house, which I think everyone knows at this point. So I'm hopefully be able to do that in the new year, which I'm super excited about.
You're not far away, man. You're pretty close. You're getting your paperwork together and everything, mate.
Yeah, it's going to be, hopefully Q1 or Q2 next year. And I feel as though it's going to be my first big diversification outside of crypto, which is super exciting. So, and also
this is great
really
because,
nice to do.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. And I mean, houses cost $4 in Tasmania. So it's taken Ben how many cycles to make $4? Like,
yeah, too many cycles. Humble beginnings to $4 homes. Potentially also looking at getting another rental, just depending on how my Bitcoin and crypto portfolio goes. It depends on how large it can grow. But my big goal is to stack a bunch of Bitcoin this cycle. Like we've sort of been buying the dips, both on the balance sheet and personally as well throughout this cycle. So we want to continue to stack Bitcoin. Also have a fair chunk of cash or / stable coins to reinvest in the next bear market. And then that's pretty much it for me at the moment. So just stack Bitcoin and get ready for the next cycle because that's where we can really compound it.
And when you have cash and stables to reinvest, are you going to be selling down your altcoins and your Bitcoin?
Yeah, I'm going to be selling down most of my alts and maybe up to 50% of my Bitcoin, depending on where it goes. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just keep stacking Bitcoin too. Like there's definitely a world where, maybe Bitcoin doesn't have a deep of a bear market as previous cycles. So we'll see how the market plays out. But long term, stack as much Bitcoin as I can and sell down a lot of my alts to reinvest.
Oh, and bro, not financial advice, folks. Sold off all my shares in my personal holdings.
Yeah.
Bought MicroStrategy exclusively.
Nice.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole and I'm like, I can't ignore this, mate. Like, I don't even care about the price. Just jam it in there. Let's
Long
go.
only. Love it.
Oh, bro.
He's
so freeing.
He's just going to keep buying. Well, how good.
Did you see what he put out where he wants to expand the amount of shares on offer from, I think it was like 300,000 to like 10 billion or something? It's absolutely incredible. People are like, this is going to dilute the share price. This is what's going to happen. And we're like, bro, he's just doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's getting cheaper capital or equity wherever he can to stack as much Bitcoin as he can and front run the entire world. Let's go.
He's the most bullish Bitcoin buyer. It's ridiculous.
Giga Chad, and he's going to pump the price, and he's not selling, so that's just going to sit there, which is going to reduce supply. I love it. You wait till. So my mates and I were at the pub, and we were talking about how we're having a bit of a joke. In 2016, we're in economics class when we're studying business, doing our MBAs, and we talked about China, debasement of currency, all this sort of stuff. That and Brexit was happening at the time, 2016, and that is still happening today, and there is no way out. And my friends, like, they buy Bitcoin, they stack it, but they still give me a lot of shit about it because they're pricks, right? They're all MBAs, they're all pricks. And they tell me, they're like, they're going to start selling currency and buying Bitcoin. And like, they're joking about it. I'm like, but bro, like, what's the other alternative? And then they're like, oh shit, like this is actually going to happen. People are going to do this because that is a way out of currency debasement.
Correct.
And I'm like, bro, finally you get it. And the first country that does it, big country that does it, a lot of countries are going to follow. Correct. And we get to front run all that, which is incredible.
No one ever wants to be first. No one wants to be last. And if the US get on board or anyone big,
it's go time, mate.
Game on.
This is why, like, we actually deleted the episode because Ben was a bit drunk. But in there, we had our Bitcoin predictions. And I was predicting, like, previously it was like 150. Now it's like 250 to 300. 300 if we get a strategic reserve.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We might have to redo just the predictions episode. That'd be a good one, actually.
Yeah. Ben wasn't drunk. He was just, how should we say, complacent in his duties.
Placing my duty. We were late to post it, and it just didn't make sense anymore, folks. I have quite high standards. The quality I put out. Bergs was pretty happy for it to go out, but I set a high standard for Ben and Bergs, so we didn't put it out in the end.
Ben was he was ashamed that he let me down again, and he was like, "No, we can't put it up, mate. No, can't do it."
I used to be ashamed, and now it's too many things to count, so I'm not ashamed anymore. He's used to it.
Just keep digging a bigger hole for me, mate. Just throwing me down. Hey, Bergs, check this out. Sparta. Every time, mate.
Mate, I think it's our 200th episode.
Mate, that's gangster. How good's that?
We might have miscounted it, but I think it's our 200th. So, wow. Thank you to everyone for, I don't know why you keep tuning in, but our numbers are growing. We're getting more and more people joining in. I think we're up to 43. No, this is 199. We miscounted it, Bergs. So, no. You gotta wait.
We is not me. We is you. Let's make that clear.
There's no I in we, mate.
There's no I in team. I think we've had a few episodes we've not put a number on it.
Yeah,
so we're probably like 300.
Yeah, like 400.
But how good is this? Like, if you've been with us from the start, first of all, you're an absolute champion. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, you've taken some of our advice and you've bought some Bitcoin. You've been with us on the journey. You've seen a bit of growth happen with both Ben and I. The way we're thinking, we're getting a bit more strategic, and we're achieving our goals, man. It feels good. The company goals, the personal goals, and the investing goals.
Yeah, very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. And we've got some good things planned for next year. We're going to try and bring on some awesome guests and keep bringing some great quality content coming to you. So if you've got any other ideas, topics you want us to cover, please let us know. You can tweet at us at BabybackBerg or at BenSimpsonAU or our Ben and Bergs on Twitter as well. You can tweet us there, and we'll make sure to bring it to you next year. But thank you so much again. Thank you, Bergs. Good episode. See you next time.
Thanks, champion, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. See you, folks.
See you, champions.